Peace, guys. Today is the 29th of August. I want to send a happy birthday to my youngest brother. But in regards to today's video, as you can see, this is a continuation of um, the week's analysis that I've been providing, particularly about trading a setup called the gap trade, as I call it. At least that's the public name I'm giving it. Um, there are some specifics and things like that that I can't really give away for free, but a savvy person can decode what's going on here, especially with the information that I've been providing. Now, what I want to talk about today is some open positions that are currently active and open right now using the exact same approach. Okay. Um, as you can see, this is still the euro dollar currency pair. All right. Here is the position that I showed you all from the previous day. Here is the move that I talked about yesterday, all right, that left a significant volume imbalance. And then here's the setup from yesterday that was actually a perfect setup that I didn't get to trade that I wish I had, okay? So the point in showing you this is you can trade both directions with this approach. Um, and as you can see, I have two open positions right here, both in profit, one for 30 pips, well, 29 pips, and one for 26 pips. All right, had a small scratch here where I was, the dealer did a stop hunt and took me out while I was away from the charts. But I was able to have some pending orders set as a backup order that allowed me to get in while I was away. So my stopped out position was stopped out for 6 pips. Had a 6 pip stop loss. And so I was stopped out on that one, and I set a backup order just in case I was going to get stopped out because I had a feeling that the dealer would try to pull this type of move because there was still room for price to push into these these imbalances, right? And so if you've been paying attention to the videos I've been sharing on my Facebook, um, this is exactly what's expected, right? They deal with the volume and price imbalance in here, along with some high volume areas. And that's what happened. All right, wicked out, backup order triggered, and was able to come back and enter manually as well once I got the notification that I was stopped out and my backup order was activated. I was able to come back and see further confirmation, add a second position in, and we've already recovered from the 6 pip stop out based on the gains in these open trades. All right, so let's talk about it. On the 1 hour time frame, as you can see, same exact chart, same exact structure, same exact trade positions. Everything I've been talking about consistently for the last 4 or 5 days is right here in front of you. And you can see two open profitable trades right now. Real time is 6:47 a.m. here. So you can equate that to wherever you are. This is right now happening at this very moment. Okay, so I just woke up. I saw these before I went to sleep. Just woke up in profit, right? So let's talk about it. So I had some clear volume imbalance here, all right, and I had a significant point of control right here at this breaker structure, okay. And so following yesterday's move over here, right, this was the setup I talked about in yesterday's video. You can go check it out right now. It was a perfect trade setup, but I was away from the charts, straight into profit, okay. And as soon as those were closed out, by the end of the day, I was able to get back in and short the move. All right, so let's go down to the 15 minute, take a look. Now, as you can see, we have a little more clarity about the point of control and the volume imbalances, okay? So over here, all right, we have a fair value gap price imbalance right here, okay? And then we have overlapping after the break, or what some people will call market structure shift or whatever, but after the stop hunt, all right, or the dealer manipulation into this area, which there's clear dealer behavior right here. Impulse, 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 trap, and then shift. All right. So there was volume imbalance here, and this also on the opposite side, coming back down, created volume imbalance. This structure within itself is a smart money concept All right, if I'm not mistaken, it's called a PBR. Don't ask me what it means, like price break reversal, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not really a smart money concept trader, but I do use some of the price action concepts from smart money trading. Okay, so we had an overlap of gaps in price, all right, or imbalances in price in this specific structure. So that gave this area of imbalance a lot of gravity, okay? And so I was looking for the point of control overlap with the price imbalance overlap, all right? And I have another point of control here, but it's already pretty much been mitigated here, okay? So this one isn't really the ideal of what I'm looking for. So we're just going to change the look of that, okay? So it's been weakened, so we put some gaps in between the lines, all right? But this would be the primary point of control I'm looking for. And as you can see, price came straight to it, started trapping, even dipped into our gap right here, okay? However, with the overlap of these two imbalances, these two gaps right here, creating this pink band right here, okay? That was more attractive, all right? All right, and as you can see, our 15-minute price imbalance gap came all the way up to here. So there was range, as long as it didn't close above this price imbalance right here, all of this is still very active. But the ideal zone is where we have the overlap of the price imbalance gaps, okay? And so I had that stretched out as this position was ending, right? So this long position here that I talked about. All right, so the entry would have been down here. I think we had like a 5 pip stop with a 10 to 11 R on the trade. So 5 pip stop, 55 pip take profit, or 40 pip take profit. All right, I think the 55 pip take profit was here. So it pushed even higher. So we really could have got out of the entire day a 60 pip take profit. So 5 pip stop loss, 60 pip take profit could have been a 12 to 1 or 1 to 12 day, depending on how you look at it, right? So a 12R return on the setup yesterday. Just absolutely phenomenal. Beautiful. This happens a lot when I'm, away from the charts and not really paying attention. There's some amazing setups that happen. Or if I'm fixated on another pair and have tunnel vision, we see this type of stuff happen and you come back and you look like, oh man, I missed that setup. And so you got to be careful with that thought process because it can lead you to revenge trading and chasing opportunities that you think you missed and stuff like that. So stick to your system, stick to your trade plan. And yeah, that's one of the hardest things to do in trading is be mechanical, remove the emotions, remove the fear, remove the greed. Right. So psychology is really the major play in trading. Okay. So that being what it is, let's talk about this entry. All right. So we're on a 15. We're going to drop down to the 5 for a little more refinement. Take a look at what happened. Okay. We can see the market maker or the dealer's behavior here, trapping through the imbalance, the points of control, all inside of this overall imbalance, right? And this here is the overlap. Okay, this is the ideal area where I was looking to enter. Let's drop down to the 1 for a little bit more clarity. All right, here we are. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'm going to draw some stuff out. So as price was coming into this area, I wanted to look for the dealer manipulation. All right, and the dealer manipulation typically looks like this. Let me see if you, do you see what's going on here? Can you see it? Sometimes people don't give basic price action its just due. You see that structure right there? Let's see if we can change the size of this and make it that. Okay. And we're going to take it up to here. And now we're going to try it. Yeah, there we go. You see the structure here? See the structure here? That structure here, right? You see it clear as day. All right, and what we be looking for is second leg opportunity. Let me change this color. That's stupid. Put it green. Make it white. All right. See that there? That's your entry opportunity. See that there? That's your entry opportunity. See that there? That's your entry opportunity. Okay, those are ideal scenarios. But like I said, I was away from the charts. I caught this one manually, right? Because I caught it a little bit late. I wasn't here for these two structures. Okay, so when I came back to the chart, I entered this trade short, and immediately it started to pull back and sweep to this point of control, all right, which was also here. All even a part of this structure right here, there's a point of control here, all right, and it swept back into this band of liquidity right back here. Stop me out. I had my stop up here, but you got to factor in the spread, all right? So the market maker, the dealer, the broker, right? They can use the spread as a tool to trigger your positions without pushing price to that exact price point. All right, so the spread is a manipulation tool if you haven't learned that already. So I had my stop at the right location structurally, but they used the spread to push a little higher and take me out. Okay, so had a backup order here that was triggered on the way to the stop. Let me see if I can get in clearer on this. All right, yeah. So where are we? All right. So anyway, um, as you can see, my backup order was triggered as price pushed higher. Okay, price pushed, it triggered that backup order, and I was anticipating it to come back to this point of control, this breaker structure here. All right, so that's why I had the backup order here, but I wasn't expecting them to push so high and use the spread to sweep my stop that was above this structure here. But they got me. But I had a backup order triggered in, okay, and then by the time I got back to the charts, which was like 10 minutes later, um, after getting the notifications about the activity, I saw another opportunity to get in right here on this sell. I mean, this buy to sell, so to speak. Price action, people will know what that means. It's buy to sell right here. All right, so I was able to get in here as well. And as you can see, if we pull out, position dropped immediately and has been continuing to drop since New York session yesterday, all the way through Asia session, going into the European Opens over here. Okay, and we're up, like I said, approximately 25 pips on each position. So we've made up for the 6 pip stop loss, and we're in profit at this moment. Let's take a look. Okay, $347 in that position, $302 on that position, lost $87 on the stop out. Okay, so we've already eclipsed that $87 loss with about $500 and $550 in profit. Okay, so this is a real-time example of a gap overlap trade. Okay, using these price imbalances from the past to look for opportunity as price approached this zone. Remember, I talked about how these imbalances act as vacuums, and price supposedly wanting to be, wanting to make this an efficient market, looks for those imbalances and comes back to deal with them. In actuality, there's money here. Okay, there's a lot of orders and a lot of volume sitting here at this area, and the dealers, the system, the robots, the algorithms, the quantum computing, everything is programmed to seek out the liquidity, to seek out the money, right? All of this is money. We talk about orders, volume, all that different stuff. We're talking about money here, okay? So real time example, same currency pair, same setup, same play, continued all through the week. If this is not proof for you that this is done every day, right? That there's opportunity every day, that you can make money from it every day, I don't know what will, right? I'm literally showing you in real time how to stalk the charts day by day, how to take successful positions day by day. And even though it's not showing here, I did take successful trades on this move right here. It was in another account, and I missed this successful trade yesterday. So had I not missed those opportunities, it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all successful trades in real time, showing you all exactly how I did it. All right. So all my members, tap in. People who want to know how to do this, tap in. Um, and yeah, let's do what we need to do. All right, any questions? Drop them in the comments.